You're scrolling. It's late, or maybe it's early, and you see it. Someone your age doing more, having more, being more. Suddenly, the room feels smaller. Your chest feels tighter. It's a familiar weight, isn't it? The feeling that you've missed a turn, that you're running a race where the finish line keeps moving and everyone else has better shoes. But here is the strangest part. Even when you do catch up, when you hit the goal, get the promotion, or finish the project, the relief lasts for about 5 minutes. Then the dopamine ghost haunts you, leaving you feeling emptier than when you were struggling. Today, we are going to dismantle the progress illusion. We are going to explore the neurobiology of why your brain convinces you that you are always broken, why your biggest achievements feel like hollow victories, and why, for the highly intelligent, the only way to survive this modern noise is to build an architecture of silence. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, behind, or quietly exhausted by the world, stay with me. We're going to look at the machinery of your mind and finally figure out how to stop competing with a version of yourself that doesn't exist. Let's start with the phantom timeline. Most of us carry a mental map drawn when we were 20. By this age, I'll be here. When we don't hit those marks, we don't just feel like we've missed a deadline. We feel like we've failed as a human being. This is the progress illusion. Your brain is not a ruler. It is a survival engine. It is biologically programmed to look for the gap. In our ancestral past, noticing the gap between the food we had and the food we needed kept us alive. But today, the gap is digital. Every time you unlock your phone, you are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to everyone else's highlight reel.
The social media displacement. For thousands of years, your world was 50 people. If you were the best at one thing in those 50, you felt secure. Now, your world is 8 billion people. Your brain doesn't know it's looking at a filter or a lie. It just sees a gap between where you are and where the screen says you should be. The biological panic. Your nervous system reacts to feeling behind as if you're being left behind by the tribe. In the wild, being slow meant being forgotten. It meant death. So that quiet panic in your chest, that's your primitive brain screaming that you're in danger because you haven't achieved as much as a stranger on the internet. We've been sold a version of success that is narrow and linear, a straight line from A to B. But for the most intelligent among us, life is a landscape, not a race. Some people find their peak at 20, others don't find the sun until 50. The illusion is believing that the timing of the flower determines the value of the garden. But let's say you do win. You run the race, you close the gap, and you stand on the podium. Why does it feel so hollow? Welcome to the dopamine ghost. The arrival fallacy. Most people believe that the hardest part of life is the struggle to survive, but there is a psychological weight that sits heavier than hardship. The weight of ownership. We assume that moving from struggle to stability is a relief, like shedding a heavy coat. But for the human psyche, achievement isn't the removal of weight, it is the removal of distance. In the struggle, there is distance between your choices and your outcomes. You can blame your lack of success for your unhappiness, but once you succeed, that distance vanishes. You are left standing alone with yourself, and you realize the win didn't change who you are. The neurochemistry of the crash. As we've discussed before, dopamine is the molecule of pursuit, not pleasure. The pursuit. Your brain is flooded with dopamine and its cousin, epinephrine, adrenaline. You feel alive, focused, and driven. The arrival. You hit the goal. The pursuit ends. The dopamine spikes, and then it crashes. This is the post-success depression. Smart people often engage in upper limit problems. They sabotage their success because the quiet stability of having made it feels more threatening than the chaos of the struggle. In the struggle, you have an excuse. In the win, you have no one to blame but yourself. The dopamine ghost is that lingering feeling of, is this it? It's the realization that the finish line was a mirage, and now you're just standing in the middle of a desert with a trophy you don't know where to put. If the race is an illusion and the winning is a ghost, where do we go? For the highly intelligent, the answer isn't more. It is the architecture of silence. Intelligent people crave deep quiet because their internal world is already loud. If you have a high IQ or a sensitive nervous system, you are processing more data, more patterns, and more emotions than the average person. Social noise, the small talk, the expectations, the constant digital pings isn't just annoying, it's a biological tax. The necessity of solitude. Carl Jung believed that enlightenment comes from making the darkness conscious. You cannot do that in a crowd. You cannot do that while hustling. Silence is the laboratory of the soul. Building the architecture. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a structure you build to protect your clarity. The digital moat, realizing that availability is the enemy of focus. The cognitive buffer, allowing space between a thought and an action. The sacred pause, understanding that doing nothing is actually the most productive thing a high-functioning brain can do.
In our culture, stillness is misdiagnosed as laziness. But nature doesn't hurry, and everything is accomplished. A cherry blossom doesn't look at an oak tree and feel behind. It simply is. When you build an architecture of silence, you stop being a subject observing your life, and you start inhabiting it. You move from adrenaline-driven motivation, fear of being behind, to alignment-driven movement, the truth of being present. To escape the progress illusion, you have to do something radical. You have to kill the ghost. You have to burn the phantom timeline. You need to look at your messy, unfinished, not quite there yet life and realize this is the show. This isn't the rehearsal for a better version of you that starts next year. Responsibility is heavy, yes, but it is also the ultimate test of human character. Not what you can endure when you have no choice, but who you become when you have every choice in the world. The heaviness you feel in your chest isn't the weight of your tasks. It's the friction between who you are and the phantom version of you that you're pretending you need to be. Let go of the pretend. The real you is much lighter. Next time you feel that quiet panic, that sense that you're late, take a breath. Look at your hands. Look at the room. You aren't late. You aren't behind.